Good evening from New York. Today, we need to take a look at the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution, Section 3. This section, often referred to as the disqualification clause, states, "No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state, to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may be, by vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability." This clause was enacted after the Civil War to prevent former Confederate officials from holding office. It has been a subject of legal and political debate, particularly in the context of the January 6th, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. What's the matter with our country, the United States in this case, or any country, that would seat in high office someone who had tried to overthrow the very government that they would serve? Really? Well, 2/3 of each house is required to remove such disability. Well, just even as it stands, Trump is not eligible to be seated as president. And if our country is so weak-kneed and easily pushed around by an obvious tyrant like Trump, that it needs to have a big awakening. He's not eligible. And he's not going to be declared eligible unless Congress, as it says, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, both the Senate and House of Representatives, to remove that disability. That isn't going to happen. That's not going to happen. And yet, here we have this guy taking office. We have the FBI and the military. They are not the puppets of the president or anybody elected to serve as president. They're not total puppets. They shouldn't be. If they act in that way and do nothing about this guy being seated as president against the very Constitution he's supposed to defend, That in itself is an act of sedition. Note what it says. Or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. The whole Republican Party has given aid and comfort to Trump at this point, or most of it. And none of them should remain seated. The entire Republican Party is illegitimate at this point because of Trump. The GOP taken down by a band of rebels. He has no mandate. He was elected by a thin plurality of the people who voted. Hmm? And 2/3 of the population approximately didn't even vote. So, yes. And all he has is a plurality, and he's claiming it as a mandate. That's not a mandate. Do the math. He lies. He continues to lie. He insults our troops and our generals. Our generals have the good sense to see him for what he is. I am wondering why law enforcement acting on this amendment shouldn't go and take this would-be president and put him in jail where he belongs. And everybody who gave him aid and comfort. Everybody. In an act of sedition, they were giving him aid and comfort and actively involved in sedition. This is ridiculous. At the very least, we have to make sure that Trump have we no self-respect in this country? The whole FBI, the CIA, our great generals. George Washington fought against a guy who would be king over us. Did he not? And then refused to be a king himself, as the story goes. I think it's entirely in the right of high law enforcement to jail this traitor. Oh, he's not a traitor because it wasn't during a war. Well, traitor us then. He's not a legitimate president. He doesn't have a mandate. I'm frankly kind of ashamed of the fact that in my beloved country, this felon is being allowed to take high office. It's outrageous. Jury of his peers has convicted him of felonious deeds. So is it, if a slim majority of the House and the Senate, not 2/3, can overrule the Constitution and seat him in office, and judges appointed by him, ignoring his actions, those Supreme Court justices that have been giving aid and comfort to Trump, some of them showing behaviors that definitely do not qualify them to be Supreme Court justices. Those justices should be removed from office because they're holding office and they gave aid and comfort to Trump. They themselves need to be on trial. We'll limp along. He'll take the oath of office anyway and sit in high office, alienating our allies. And if that weren't enough, the things that he has in mind for us financially are ludicrous and harmful. His idea concerning health care, they're insane. And he's going to give us something better than Obamacare? Really? He doesn't even have a plan to look at. 9 years to work on it. He doesn't have a plan. Oh, yeah. He's a self-described genius. Well, the richest guy in the world is pulling his strings. A truly lost soul, poisoned by greed, and definitely not one to pay his fair share of taxes nor respect the rights of workers to organize. Wow. Well, when the other side is quite willing to pick up guns and charge and harm our police, guards at the people's house, but we can't enforce the law on them. He's going to try to forgive all of the people that we did put in prison. He's going to do that. He said he's going to do that. So not only is he a proven seditionist, but he's giving aid and comfort to the people who definitely did try to do that. Again, consider the 14th Amendment, Section 3. Let's read that again and tell me that America is the great country it used to be if it ignores this. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. Now, I disagree with that, but that's the Constitution. That's what we're supposed to be following. All right? So unless Congress, by 2/3 of each house, remove that disability, then all the people that gave aid and comfort to Trump, and Trump himself, who doubly guilty, wants to give aid and comfort to his followers who helped him with a attempt at sedition, the overturning of a free and fair election, proven time again, over and over. You just can't make this up. That's what happened to Germany and Italy and many other places where an authoritarian took over. And we thought it couldn't happen here. This is how it happens. We must stand firm and be the resistance. You say, this is a channel about love. Yeah, it's a channel about love, but real love is virtuous. Real love honors a democracy. And real love wars against evil and hate and those who would destroy that democracy. So the path of the mystic, if you're going to live it, that practice of love within, well, it has to be virtuous. As outlined in the teachings that I give on this channel. And it has to be expressed politically. You say, oh, that's never happened. Yes, it has. Mahatma Gandhi. Definitely. Nelson Mandela. There's another example. And the great Martin Luther King Jr. Another. These were people who were for interchange with the power of love, true mystics, and they were very political. They were into socio-political change. So now that that's clear, that love isn't a wimp, what are we going to do here in this country? What are we going to do? Are we going to allow this travesty? What are the guardrails? Put that in the comments. Do we have guardrails to keep him from totally taking us down the path to the end of our democracy? We're so close to it right now. Unbelievable. The power, he's got given office to the richest man in the world. Yeah, so I guess wealth makes right. I don't think so. And Elon Musk has aided and abetted someone who promoted sedition. Sad. He's one lost child. Very sad. So he shouldn't be holding office of any kind either, appointed or otherwise. Yeah, madness has taken over our country. Anti-democratic, cruel, prejudiced, the dark side. So, say what you will, love shouldn't stand for this. It didn't stand for Hitler. It shouldn't stand for this. Leave your comments. Any encouragements, Do we still have guardrails that will keep him from destroying our economy and making war the way Putin does against free and independent countries? I mean, his disrespect for Canada and Mexico, Panama, and just about all of our allies, calling our troops at D-Day losers and suckers. What kind of mouth utters something like that? What kind of brain would see our troops at D-Day as losers and suckers? That'll come right out of the mouth of Hitler himself. And our generals have called this Trump fascist to the core. Well, watch, it's happening. American Civil Liberties Union. Good luck. Keep it up. Midas touch, keep it up. Enough. You're going to change yourself inside. That's all what this channel's about. The change inside and change outside are catalysts for each other. It's hard to do the right thing in an authoritarian country, and easy to respect human rights in a democratic country that's real. Anyway, I keep trying to end this, and I keep saying something more. I think it's plain and clear. What do we do? Well, the last thing we need is a civil war. Please stop shooting people. But we do need a strong arm to take this would-be dictator by the nape of the neck and put him in prison where he belongs. Just my personal opinion. Anyway, may the real love, the real compassion, the virtuous love be a part of your life. And even a smile and a caring word can have a ripple effect and help a lot of people. So, in the name of love, let's defend our democracy and be the resistance. Until next time.